Okay, so welcome everybody to the webinar, the training, whatever we want to call this tonight. We're going to have some fun, whatever it is. My name's Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. And here's what we're going to do tonight. I'm going to teach you guys about Teamzy. And it sounds like a couple of you are already using it, which is fantastic. I'll show you how to set it up, how easy it is to use, how easy it is to get started. I want to show you how you can do all of your income producing activities in less than an hour a day. Okay, so Teamzy is designed to help you get everything done in less than an hour a day. We're going to make you a power hour boss. But also I want to teach you about the philosophy and the system that Teamzy is built upon. It's called relationship marketing. So I'm going to teach you a bit about relationship marketing and how to really leverage that system with the software helping you to create an incredible business. And then what we'll do is I'll stay on for Q&A. If you have questions, you can ask me anything at the end. No big deal. I'll stay with you guys as long as you need me to. But we are recording this call also so that the team will be able to get the recording. And Julie, I'll make sure you get that link tonight or tomorrow, so that you have it for the team. Okay, fantastic. So let's see how. I guess it would help if I actually opened my keynote presentation. This is the first presentation since I got the new operating system on the Mac. You know, that's always kind of the, will everything work? I don't know. Let's see if it all works. Usually it's supposed to work better. Okay, here we go. Hold on, I've just got the spinning rainbow wheel of death. Here we go. Stop spinning. Okay, let's try it again. It's like a wedding planning. You know, you guys don't know, right? What's going wrong? Here we go. Oh, I apologize, guys. Since it's the new operating system, I have to actually authorize this app in. Okay. That should work now. Okay, are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing my presentation? Okay, great. Yay. All right, so if you guys are watching the recording, fast forward that 30 seconds. Okay, so here's what we want to talk about is how to systemize your success with relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. There's a lot to that title. I love long titles, but this is what we're going to talk about. How to actually follow a system to build your business using relationship marketing and doing it in less than an hour a day. So just to kind of give you guys my backstory, and I know some of you may have seen, you know, some of the Teamzy videos. Maybe you've never heard of me. My background is not actually in direct sales or network marketing. I come from a background of being a business coach and a professional consultant for the past 18 years. I've been helping people build their business. And I specialize in helping them do it based on relationships. What happened in my life was I, about 5 years ago, ran into some products that really helped me that were part of a network marketing business. And they really helped me. And people were asking me all day long, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And I was just sharing it. I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't a distributor. I was just excited about what they were doing for me. How many of you guys, that's how you started your business? And my wife, who's the shrewd one in the family, says, you know, honey, you should look into being a distributor because people are talking to you about it all day long. So I did. I took a look at it. I was very skeptical. I'll just be honest with you. I was very skeptical about the industry, like many people are. But as I took a look at it, I saw it as a really great opportunity to create another stream of income in my life. See, where we were at that time was I have an amazing family and I had a great career. The problem is I really wanted to be with my family more. I never got to see them. When I was constantly working, I never saw my kids. I would get up in the morning and see them in their pajamas, and I would come home in the evening, they'd be back in their pajamas getting ready for bed. And that was kind of my relationship with them. And I was worried that I was going to completely miss their entire childhood. The other thing that was happening was we were kind of tight on money. You know, I'd gotten to a place in my career where things were good, but at the same time, we were kind of stuck in a rut. There was nowhere for us to grow. And I was concerned that we were going to be stuck there forever type thing. So I saw this opportunity and thought this would be an amazing way to create another stream of income that would build some flexibility of time into my life so I could be with my kids more, right? And so that I wouldn't also have to worry about being laid off again from my job, which had happened every time basically the economy went down. So I took a look at it. Now, here was my challenge. I didn't have enough time to do this. I just couldn't figure out when do you do it? How many of you struggle with when to do the time? And so I thought, if I could get this done in an hour a day, I could do this. So I started looking for tools to help me leverage my time so that I could get it done and be incredibly efficient with my 1 hour. And honestly, I couldn't find nothing that really helped me. So long story short, we built Teamzy because I couldn't believe that anyone could do this business without it. And so I remember taking my now business partners to lunch and showing them my sketches in a notebook of what I thought would be just this great tool to help people build this business. And the rest is kind of history. In the past 3.5 years, we've had more than 100,000 network marketers use Teamzy, which is amazing to me. It blows my mind and is absolutely humbling. And it's humbling that you guys are here talking to me about Teamzy too, after just a few years. And just to give you an idea of the type of results people are getting with the system, are people who are using it consistently, are active users. They're averaging 21 new customers and 9 recruits over 90 days, which is not bad, right? How many of you will take those numbers? Yeah, it's great. And if you're consistent, you can see that kind of thing go, extrapolate over a year. That's a pretty darn good year in the business. Okay, so let's jump into this. What is relationship marketing? It's kind of a buzzword these days, and you've probably heard people use the term relationship marketing recently. It seems like everybody's using this term. I just haven't heard anybody use it in the way I feel like it's meant to be used, and that's this. A couple things about it. Relationship marketing is a philosophy of doing business that puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. Okay, it puts relationships and people ahead of sales and products. We don't build relationships so that we can make sales. We build relationships and then we make sales. It's just a different approach. Also, it's not some abstract feel-good concept. It's actually a proven system that we follow, always knowing what to do next. Okay, how many of you would just like to know what to do next? That's why we built this system, so you always know what to do next. Also, you get to know when you're done for the day, which is nice. Also, relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. I know it's kind of a dull definition, but you just need to understand something. You're not just salespeople that market Herbalife products. You're business owners. And the business owner's job is to generate leads. You're in the lead generation business. That's your business. It's a mindset shift, right? Now, here's the good news. We're not all salesy around here. This is the Teamzy people who are here, right? So we're all about loving up on people. I want you guys to understand that your paramount duty is this: developing and deepening relationships. Okay, developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So your job is to generate leads, i.e., meet people so that you can build relationships with them. It's that simple. How do we systemize your life so that you meet people and build relationships with them? That's what we're going to be doing tonight. Okay. And why is it so important to go for relationships and to build relationships rather than just trying to make a sale or just trying to find the next member of your team? It's because we turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Okay, we turn our relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Just really quick, just to kind of give you guys this concept really fast. In our business, everybody kind of trains you to just, hey, you're going to just throw the opportunity to every single person you know, right? Don't worry about the fact that most of them say no, because some of them will say yes, and we'll build on them and we'll keep going, right? Well, in this approach, we're going to talk to each person and build relationships with them. Some people will say yes, some people will say no. And I want you to know that the people who really feel honestly that Herbalife's not for them, they will still be advocates for your business. They will still introduce their friends and family to you. They will still bring people to you who have the problems that you solve. If you build the relationship with them, the no's that other systems throw over their shoulders like dead bodies, those no's will be an army of advocates building your business for you. I just want you guys to understand that's the power of relationship marketing, is that you're going to create people on a mission for you, even if they never buy your products or join your team. All right, sorry. I had to hammer that point because it's like, that's what we're here for tonight. Okay, next. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I gotta slide you guys over. Zoom does these funny things for me. All right. So remember, we turn our relationships into advocates. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Have you guys come across people in our business that are a little bit shady? Well, everybody has. That's why everyone's so skeptical about network marketing, right? Here's the thing though, all that stuff that's been taught for so many years, I call it the 1970s approach to business, which is still the dominant way we look at this. That doesn't work here because it's too tricky and sneaky. What we're doing depends on trust, which means you need to be absolutely genuine, upfront, and transparent as you build your business. How many of you, that's a sigh of relief that you get to be that way? Yeah, that's why you're here. You're my people. I find you everywhere in the world. It's great. Trust makes the work fun. If somebody trusts you, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You don't have to talk them into anything. You can get right to helping them, right? Because they trust you and they know that you have their best interest at heart. Trust takes the ickiness away from the sales process. Maybe this is an American term, but we call them the icky salesperson, right? The icky salesperson. They make you feel icky. You won't ever come across that way when you're building trust. And finally, you get to go for yes. None of this go for no stuff. We don't do that. No's don't get you closer to yeses. Just want you guys to know that. I don't know who came up with that concept. Yeses get you closer to yeses. So how do we build trust? I'll teach you tonight how to do it. There's 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, let's go through them really quickly. I'll break them out for you. And then we'll jump into Teamzy and take a look at how to apply these principles. The first one is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence. Number 4 is consistency. So the 4 ingredients are chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right. So let's talk about how these work. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like, right? And most people prefer to do business with a friend. So your first job is to build some rapport, find some chemistry. What do you have in common? Ask some questions, find out. Do you know that we have things in common, like really, really common things with every single person? If you ask a few questions, you'll figure it out. What you have in common, what interests you have. Our job is to unite people so that we can help as many as we can. Number 2 is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay, I want you to notice something about this definition, and please don't take offense to this, but you don't have character. It's not something you have. Character is something you do. It's something you do and something you need to do daily. We sometimes think like we've already established that we're a person of good character. And look at my history. I'm a person of good character. Doesn't matter. How are you caring for people right now? And since your brand, by the way, I mean, Herbalife's a great brand, right? But that's not your brand. You are your brand. Your character is whether someone determines whether or not they're going to do business with you is based on your character. So I want you to think about everything you do, everything you say, every post you make on social media. How is this demonstrating my care for other people? The way you drive your car on the highway, the way you park it, does that demonstrate your character? Do you guys have bumper stickers on your car with your business name? Well, you better be a very polite driver then, right? Do you think about that kind of thing? I always tell people if you're a person of faith, you should put something on your car that declares your faith, because then you will force yourself to drive better because you don't want to give a bad name to the Almighty, right? It's true. Okay, so my wife's license plate says faith, hope, and love. Those are the letters they spell on her license plate. So whenever I'm in her car, I'm very careful to be very polite to everybody. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. It's really important. The relatable part is important. Not everybody gets that at first, but when you become successful in this business, it's hard sometimes to remember where you started, and you have to constantly tell people the story of how you were. Good friend of mine, Beverly, who's an amazing, one of the most formidable women I've ever met. She's the picture of health and strength. And she got into the business because she was the opposite. She had chronic fatigue syndrome and autoimmune problems that were debilitating. She was a career military service woman who had to leave her career because she wasn't strong enough to do it anymore. And over the years, through nutrition and clean eating and exercise, she has completely restored herself. And I had to remind her that she needs to continue to tell the story of her frailty. Everybody thinks she's Wonder Woman. Nobody understands how relatable her story is because she's so far beyond who she was. Does this make sense? We need to constantly stay relatable. We need to constantly explain where we came from. Yeah, it's great that you're taking your team to Bali on a retreat, but remember where you started when you just needed $100 a month extra, right? So we got to stay relatable. Number 3 is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and that you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to this. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. The first piece is this: hey, can you help me? Do you know enough about your products to help me? Okay, so what are the problems you solve? Let's say I need to lose weight. Are you good? How many of you could help me lose weight? Do I believe that you're competent enough to help me? Can you recommend the program that I need? Can you coach me through it? Do I believe that? And that's how I'm going to determine whether or not I buy from you. The next piece I need you to demonstrate to me is that you understand this business and that you can mentor me to be successful in the business. Why should I sign up with you? Competence is something you need to be demonstrating all the time. People need to see, wow, that person's competent. And so you do this through the way you interact. You do this with the way you post on social media. You need to be constantly sharing the story of your competence. And look, I know some of you are more competent than others because you've got more experience. Some of you are just beginning. People watching this on the replay might be your first week in the business, but you need to start sharing your journey of learning. Okay? And here's one real important thing about competence. If you're not there yet, don't pretend you are. Do not fake it. Have you guys ever heard someone say, fake it till you make it? Don't do that. Okay? You don't want to fake it. Just what you do is you lean into the competence of your team. You tell people, I'm new, but I've joined a team of incredible professionals. They are so knowledgeable. Tell their stories. Tell their successes. Share their stories. Let people know what team they will be joining when they join you in the business, who will be mentoring them along with you. Does this make sense? Just a little side note, fake it till you make it. That is a term coined by one of my favorite mentors, Zig Ziglar. Have you guys ever heard of Zig Ziglar? And what that term refers to is when you don't feel enthusiastic, pretending you're enthusiastic. It's about attitude, not about pretending you have success or money that you don't have, just so you guys know. So you can correct people on your team when they say that. Go, yeah, that's just about attitude. Yours is lousy, so pretend it's not, and let's keep going, right? Just kidding. All right, chemistry, character, competence. There's 3 pieces here. There's a principle behind these 3, and then we'll get to number 4. Here's the principle. When somebody's going to do business with you, they really only care about these 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? I know you guys are like, when is he going to get to Teamzy? Hey, this is what Teamzy is built to do automatically for you guys. All of these principles, right? How cool is that? These questions are asked by people, not out loud. They're kind of asked in their hearts. Does this make sense? It's kind of an emotion. When they believe these are all true, you've built an advocate, somebody who's excited to support your business. When they're not sure about any one of these, that's when you're going to get a lot of questions and objections. Okay. So which isn't a bad thing, right? You're going to learn how to overcome those objections and help people through those questions, but just understand you still need to invest in that relationship. You have not completely built the trust yet. You need to continue to invest in the relationship. Make sense? Okay. Number 4 is consistency. Consistency. Okay. And here's the principle on this. It's important to be consistent, don't you think, if you want people to trust you? Probably the most important thing. Yes. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. You guys are coaches. Have you had people tell you that you inspire them? Isn't that humbling and amazing when someone says that to you? What do you think it is about you that makes you so inspiring? I'll just tell you. It's because you're consistent. They see you doing things that they think, wow, look at how consistent she is. She eats healthy all the time. She takes care of herself, her health. She works out, she exercises, she has an active lifestyle. Like this is really important to her. She's somebody who's consistent. And what's amazing is people are inspired by that and they want to be around it. How many of you, you started out excited about products, but now you just love the community more than anything? Isn't that amazing? Isn't it invigorating to be around other people who are being consistent? That's one of the things that draws you to the community. This is just so you guys know, being consistent is absolutely crucial to build trust, but it will also draw people to you, and that's how you build a tribe. It's pretty cool. Okay, so real quick, for those of you guys I can see on camera, how many of you are consistent products of your product? You take your products, it's part of your lifestyle, you don't miss a day. Okay, well, that's a good start. That's a good start. We're consistent on that. How many of you are consistent about sharing your journey and your story on social media? Kinda, a little bit. Okay. It's a good thing to do. Just so you guys know, it's a good thing to do. It absolutely supports everything we're going to be doing with Teamzy. Because as you're connecting with people, they're going to your social pages and they're looking for proof of what you're talking about. Does that make sense? So social media is another opportunity to build trust. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. So here's the real checkup from the neck up, though. You might be good at taking your products every day or posting on social media every day. But the real question is, are you as consistent with your relationships? Are you as consistent about staying in touch with people, which is the most important thing in our business, right? Here's what I want you to know is that relationship building is a contact sport. It doesn't mean we're going to hit them like we're playing rugby or something. It means we need to be in contact with them. We need to be in regular contact with them. In fact, if you ask me the secret to success, I would say it's staying in contact with everyone you know on a regular basis. But I understand that your time is scarce, which of course is why we built Teamzy, to make that part easy for you. But here's the principle I want you to get on this, and then we'll dive into Teamzy and we'll do a power hour together. Here's the principle. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. And deepening relationships is how we build our business, right? All right, just really quick on this. I see your faces. How many of you have ever received a card or a letter from somebody that you care about, and it was handwritten, had a handwritten message with a beautiful message that just touched your heart? Have you guys ever received? Yeah, Diane raised her hand right away. She got a really good one recently. If you've never received a card like that, just put your address in the chat, for crying out loud, so we can send you one, because everyone should have a card like that. So if you hopefully you've received multiples of these over the years. How many of you save these? You've got a special place somewhere where you've got a pile of cards or letters that you've saved over the years. Yeah, this is universal, right? So tonight I'm talking to people all across Australia. I'm in San Diego. We've got people coming on in Spain. I guarantee you they're going to raise their hands that they saved those cards too. In fact, when we pass away, often that's what's most treasured by our families, isn't it? Cards and letters that we treasured. Or how many of you have a card or letter from a loved one who's passed on that you've saved? It's amazing that we treasure these so much, right? Now, here's another example, probably a more common one. This is a happy birthday postcard that I received recently. This one is it's just a postcard, basic. It came from my life insurance salesperson. Have you ever received one of these from a business owner or a doctor's office or something? Have you guys ever received a postcard for your birthday? Yeah, some of you have. Does this go in the special place? How many of you kept these? Nobody kept these. These go right in the trash, right? Don't they? Yeah. It's funny because I always tease, like, this is not going to be, when I'm gone, my kids won't be using this in their Bible to mark their place, right? But they may be using one of the cards that I've saved. This typically goes right in the trash can. And the reason why is because it violates the two pieces of the principle I just taught you. If you want to deepen a relationship, you have to invest time and connect personally. This required no time investment, which is why it has no value. The handwritten message required personal time investment, even if just a minute or two, but somebody invested that time into just you personally. Personal connection. That's the other thing this doesn't have. This is bulk mailing, has no personal connection. We do not value this. It has no value because it's not personal and it required no time. Does this make sense? The way you connect to somebody is you connect one-on-one and you give them a moment of your time. And especially now, the way our society is so disconnected, we're connected more than ever on social media, but we're not connecting one-on-one anymore, are we? When you take 2 or 3 seconds to message somebody personally, it's shocking. And it absolutely makes people's day. I know some of you are using Teamzy already, so you've already experienced how incredibly impactful it can be. And you're surprised. I just said hello to somebody and it's like, it blew their minds. People don't take time to connect anymore. Now, I'm telling you guys, you don't need to be writing letters or cards all day long. Though whenever you can think of a reason to write somebody a handwritten card, you should do that because they'll save it forever. You put your heart into it, they'll save it forever. But even just reaching out, messaging somebody, sending them a text, it can make their day. And I'm going to show you how with Teamzy, it'll be really easy to do that 20 or 30 times a day to create massive momentum in your business. Make sense? But we are so seduced by this concept of marketing automation. And have you guys heard that term? It's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if you could just pay somebody to just bring leads to your business for you? And you could just send it off. But here's what I want you to know. Every form of marketing automation, when you get it, it feels like this. It's not personal. It's not a connection. It doesn't have much value. Okay. All right. I love that too, Julie. Faith it till you make it. That is great. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Just keep that in mind, you guys. And then the last thing I want to talk to you about before I show you the Teamzy is all these principles I'm sharing with you. Do you guys agree they're great, right? Great principles. Yes. Business with heart. That's what we want. But you got to have a system behind it. You can't just have philosophy. You have to have a system too. You need a way to stay in contact with all your relationships and keep it manageable for yourself. You should know when to contact people and when not to. In other words, I don't need you to spend 3 hours of planning so you can do 30 minutes of work. I want you to be able to just dive in and work every day. Know what you're going to say so you don't get stuck staring at your screen going, oh my gosh, what do I say? How do I make this message perfect? How many of you guys are guilty of doing that? Your power hour turns into one text message when you do that. So you just want to know what you can say to start conversations quickly and make sure that nobody's falling through the cracks. This is the number one problem in our industry. We work so hard to generate interest, and then we let people fall through the cracks. Are you kidding me? What a waste. It's like without this system, it's like drinking water from your hands. Okay, you can do it. And people have built successful businesses that way, but the waste, the spillage is unreal, right? Julie says you guys are in drought, so we don't want to waste water. We don't want to waste leads either. Okay. So let's jump into Teamzy. Let me see here. Let me make sure I have Teamzy logged in. I've got my Herbalife version of Teamzy ready to go. How many of you are already using Teamzy? Okay, great. So a bunch of you already are. So for those of you watching this on the recording, I'm just going to show you really quickly how to set this up. And then I'm going to demonstrate the workflows on how to go the whole process to start conversations, have a great conversation, invite them to learn about your products, boom, and how to close them out in the system. So for those of you who aren't using Teamzy, what you need to do is go to teamzy.com and start a free trial. It's free for 30 days. You get full access. We do not ask for your payment information or anything up front. We just want you to use Teamzy and fall in love with it. At that point, it's up to you if you want to come back and set up a subscription to keep going with us. Okay? So teamzy.com. and it'll say choose business type, and you're going to want to make sure you get the Herbalife version because it's customized for you guys. Okay. What you're looking at here on the screen is the setup wizard for Teamzy. This is designed for people like me who aren't real techie to make this process super easy. So there's a little video from me there that you guys can watch. I'm going to skip it though, since you have me live. And the first thing we want to do in Setup Wizard is set an income goal. How much money would you like to be earning? Okay, a year from now, let's say, 12 months from now. So there's a little slider, and you can go up really crazy high, or you can go down low, whatever you want your goal to be. Okay, so I'm going to set it at 150,000 because that was the goal that I set when I started this process myself. And so you can see at that income level, this is the amount of activity I'd need to do daily in Teamzy in order to achieve that in 12 months. I need to connect with 9 prospects, 6 customers, and 4 coaches on my team. Okay, 19 people. Now, I'm pretty good at Teamzy. I could do 19 connects in 15 minutes. So my power hour is going to be super fast. But here's what I want you to know. Even if you're new, you could do it in 30 minutes. So this is $150,000 a year, really, Eric, in 30 minutes? Yeah. Yes. So your power hour, even at that level, is still only going to be an hour a day or less. Okay. So once you have that where you want it, click continue. Isn't that cool, though, to know exactly what you need to do every day? Yeah, we've helped so many people that we know kind of what the basic numbers will be based on the activity you put into it. The next step is we're going to get all your contacts into Teamzy. Teamzy is a full-fledged CRM. If you don't know what that means, that's a contact relationship manager. It's a type of software that manages all of your contacts, all the contact information. So we're going to get your back office people in, your team, your customers, all your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers, your phone contacts, your Christmas card list, whatever. Everybody gets into Teamzy in one place. So you're not trying to hunt down sticky notes and pads of paper to find people's contact information. Oh my gosh, how annoying is that? Everyone's laughing because you've all done it. It's okay. Me too. This will help you be organized. Now, Teamzy is cloud-based, which means it's always available. Your computer, your phone, wherever you are, you can get to Teamzy. You meet somebody in the market, you don't have to write it down on the back of a napkin. You pull out your phone and you put them right in Teamzy right then and there. Set the follow-up and message them tomorrow. Make sense? All right, so we're going to get you mega organized by getting everything in one place. And then once everybody's in there, we're ready to launch your Teamzy dashboard. Let me just show you a couple things here really quick. So here's the Teamzy dashboard for Herbalife. Okay, check it out. Right here where it says today's activities, these are the goals that we just set. And again, these will be customized to you based on the goal you set for your income. So it says I need to connect with 9 prospects today. You can see I've done 0. We're going to change that in a minute. Connect with 6 of my customers and 4 of my coaches. Now, if you're brand new and you don't have a team and you don't have customers, that's fine. You can put all of the goal on prospects for now. Does this make sense? You can take all 19 and put it on prospects, but this is just giving me a mix, assuming that I've already got a team to work with, okay? And to change these numbers, all I do is click right here where it says Edit Daily Goals, and it takes me to a setup page where I can change those numbers. Now, I've got a couple of other goals here, daily goals I want to just show you. I've got a goal to share 3 times. Okay, and so I'll show you, we'll do that today. I'll show you how to do that. But that means I'm sharing my products or I'm sharing my business opportunity with somebody. Okay, I'm going to start 19 conversations, but my goal is only to share the business 3 times. And that's because my plan isn't to shove it down everybody's throat. I want to have a conversation, see if there's some interest, and those are the people I'm going to share with. Does this make sense? How many of you are married or have a significant other in your life? Let me just see hands. Okay, great. Now, how many of you were proposed to and said yes the very first time you met that person? Nobody. That's why it works so rarely in our business. Does this make sense? You have to build a relationship first. Okay, and then I've got another goal, which is to add new people to my list every day. I just want to put new people on Teamzy every day just to keep it fresh. So you're going to be meeting new people, out in the world, organizations, clubs, meeting new people on social media, putting them in Teamzy. However you're meeting people, you want to constantly be refreshing that list. Okay. Does that make sense? Now, right here is the power hour section. This is where we do our power hours. Now, this is really cool because once you've set up Teamzy, you don't really have to think. You can just turn it on, log in, and start connecting with people. It tells you right here on the left side, here are the lists of who to connect with. So don't worry about who to connect with. Just do whoever's up next. You can see I've got a prospects list. a customer's list, a coach's list, and then I've got my follow-ups list. And on the right-hand side is where I log that activity in Teamzy as I go, so it's all tracked. Does this make sense? Okay. So there's one more thing for setup that I want to show you, and then we're gonna actually, I'll demo live how we do one of these power hours. Notice that each person on my list has a number next to their name. This is their star rating. 5 stars to 1 star. You guys are familiar with star ratings, right? We use them for everything. So we're going to rate our relationships in Teamzy. This allows Teamzy to create a list that's intelligent and brings people back based on the priority you're setting for them. Does this make sense? So I'm going to just toggle over to my team page to show you this. The team page here is where your full list of contacts are. See, everybody's here. Okay. So your team, your customers, and your prospects are all considered team in Teamzy because, as I mentioned in the beginning, our job is to turn them into advocates, customers, or coaches, right? So they're all part of your team. Okay. So see right here next to Maynard, when I highlight him, I can actually click on these stars to change his rating. Okay. And as soon as I click it, it's saved. There's a mode right here where I can turn the whole list on. See where it says rank mode? This allows me to go down my whole list and do a ranking of the whole list at once. And I suggest you do this in setup. Even if you have a big list, I don't want you to be too overwhelmed by this because you don't need to rank the whole list. Notice how everybody's a 3-star already. That's what it defaults to in Teamzy because I know that 80 to 90% of your list will stay at 3 stars. Okay? So what I want you to do is scan your list and look for the people you really like and rank them up higher to 4 and 5 stars. So you're going to like cherry pick the 4 and 5 star people. Does that make sense? Just to get started. Now let me explain to you what these ranks mean, and then I'm going to show you how to do it in a power hour. So here's my definitions for the ranks. A 5-star person, these are your best friends, your favorite people. They're the people that you feel are most likely to become a customer or a coach. Or maybe they're already on your team, or maybe they're already a customer, but they're like your favorite ones, the best ones. They show up on your list first to connect with, and they come back every 30 days automatically. You don't have to remember to connect with them. They come back every 30 days when they're a 5-star. Okay? And when I say connect, I don't mean, hey, would you like to join my business? Or can I send you a sample? Or will you give me your opinion on this? I just mean you're connecting to say hi and make their day. Okay? And so I want you to get in the make someone's day mindset. That's the term we use. When you're connecting with people in your power hour, your job is just to make their day. That's what you're trying to do because that gives you an opportunity to have a great conversation without turning them off. Make sense? A 4-star is somebody that, these are your friends and family, just not like your closest circle. These are also the people you feel are likely to join the team or become customers with a little bit of nurturing. 4-star people will show up right after your 5-star people, and they come back automatically every 60 days. Okay, every 60 days. So you'll talk to them every 2 months. 3 stars could go either way. You really don't know yet until you start connecting, which is why most of your list will stay at 3 stars. They'll come up after the 4-star people and cycle back through every 90 days automatically. Does this make sense? So the more stars you give somebody, they come up first, and the more often they cycle. This allows you to spend more time with your best relationships because 80% of your business will come from the best 20% of your relationships. But at the same time, Teamzy keeps you in contact with everybody on the list so that you can also start building momentum in those relationships over time, bringing them up to the 5-star level. Make sense? Okay. 2 stars are getting colder. They're every 120 days and so on. So the more stars, the more often. Okay. Once you're done ranking, you can just go back to the dashboard. It auto saves. You're good to go. Now we are ready to do our power hour. Okay. So when I come into Teamzy, you can see it's automatically made my list of the next 5 people I need to connect with. And I don't want you to think too hard about this. This is designed to keep you efficient and effective. Just go with who's next, okay? We're going to start left to right with our prospects list first. The first person on my list is Julie. Oh, she's going to be nice to me, I think. What the heck do I say to Julie? How many of you struggle with the message itself? So when we launched Teamzy 3.5 years ago, we didn't have a scripts library. We just figured you guys could have your own conversations. We just built a tool to make it easy to manage it. Then everybody said, I don't know what to say. So I put all of my scripts in Teamzy for you. They're there for you to use. So look, let me show you how to get to the scripts. See right here where it says scripts? Just click on that and then pick the type of script you want. I'm going to send her a message on Facebook. So there it is. And then there's a bunch of scripts you can choose from. I'm going to choose the first one on the list. And here's how it reads. It says, "Hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome." It's super simple. Okay. The most important thing for connecting is to keep it simple. I'm going to copy script. So now what I'll do is I'm just going to paste that script into Teamzy so I can do some editing. Obviously, I got to get the name right. Hi, Julie. Great. If you want to change any of the wording, you can. I like the way it's worded because it's actually, I wrote it. Put some emoticons in. I love emoticons. You guys are like on the Gold Coast, right? How about this one? A little surfer. Blonde surfer, because Australia. There you go. What do you think? Is it good? All right. So look, I got it ready to go. The message is just the way I want it. So I'm going to just copy this so I can actually send it to her before I log it in Teamzy. So I've got Facebook open up here in another tab. So however you're communicating, you're going to send the message, whether it's Facebook, text, or whatever. There she is. I'm using Facebook as my example. So let me send her a message. Okay, so look, the message is sent. Done, great. Toggle back over here and we're gonna log this. See where it says Facebook message? Great. Log connect, the big blue button, that actually logs it. So I sent the message to her, logged it, and now she's off my list. My list has moved up. Next person up is Lisa Swain. I'm gonna send her a message. I'll actually use that same script. I'm just gonna paste it out of my clipboard and change the name again. Okay. Everything else is good to go. I can even keep the emoticons, which is great. Do you guys see how easy this is? There she is. I'm going to send her that message. There it is. It's just stopping by to say hello. How are you? Hope your day is awesome. Boom, sent, done. And so I'm going to keep working down my list. Look, I'm going to log this one. I'll keep working down my list until I've connected with my goal, which in this case is 9. So I've got 2 done. See how this blue circle is filling in? This is a visual cue that I'm getting close to being done. When it's completely blue, I'll know I'm done connecting with prospects for the day, and I can go to the next list, which is customers. Okay, and I'm going to do it the same way. Tessa comes up next. I'm going to message her. If I don't know what to say, go to scripts and get a script to help you with. Now, these are customer scripts now. Teamzy automatically switched, so they're great. Look at this one. Congratulations on great results. This one says, Jane, you're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on. Do you guys have people that lose weight? Would that be a great message to send a customer? Isn't it better to say congratulations on losing 3 kilos than would you like to order some more products before your order ships? It's the same message, isn't it? It's just a nicer way to do it. How about this one? Hi, John. How are you enjoying the products? You just fill in whatever he's using. Send me an update. Please send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. These scripts are in here for you guys to use. Okay, here's another one. Hi, Jane. Just checking to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay, so you get the script you want. You put it in there. You can edit it a little bit to make sure you get the name right. Don't overthink. Just get these out. So your goal, it's like a game of hot potato. Your goal is to get these messages out quick before you can overthink. So the conversations start. Okay? Oops, that's the wrong emoticon. It doesn't matter. You get the idea. I meant to put the happy face. I put the confused guy. It's all good. So you're going to send these messages now with your customers. You're just going to connect the same way, just like we did before. You send them the message and log it in Teamzy, and you're just going to work your way down your list with just a quick make someone's day message. Okay? This is so key because people get all caught up in following up with customers. They feel like they need a complicated customer service system. Really, all you need is to be in regular contact with them and just to let them know you care and that you're present. Does this make sense? That's great customer service. I mean, think about the greatest restaurant, like the most amazing restaurant you ever went to with the best service, right? And how fun it was. They were just present when you needed them, weren't they? And that's what you guys want to do. So just be present. Now, what will happen when you start to be in regular contact with your customers? How many of you right now are consistently in contact with your customers? There you go. That's good. Very few people have raised their hand to that one, by the way. It's all good though, because now you have Teamzy. When you're in regular contact with customers, a couple of magical things happen. First off, They start ordering more product and they retain longer. It's a statistical fact. When you're in regular contact with customers, they order more product and they retain longer. How cool would that be? We've seen teams do a 30-day free trial challenge with their team, and team volume goes up 20, 30% that month, just because everybody's now suddenly talking to customers. And we're so caught up in prospecting all the time, which is important, but customers are equally as important as prospecting. I just want you guys to know this. You'll get as much or more business from your customers, past and present, than you will prospecting. Those people already trust you. They've already given you money for your products. Does this make sense? The other thing that's going to happen, how many of you can think of one customer that you just, oh, I just adore that person. I want more people like that I can help. Do you guys have someone like that? Where do you go get those? Is there like an Herbalife switchboard where they post those people? Here's another great one for you guys just to have. Wouldn't that be cool? You guys would love that, I bet. It doesn't exist, but I'll tell you where to find the best customers. It's from your customers. The best place to find a great new customer is from a current customer. There's no better source than that. Think about it. Think about that person that came to mind and made you smile, Diane. They're walking around telling people about your products and about you. They're so excited about what's happening. They are talking about it. When people are excited about something, they're telling other people about it, don't they? Naturally. And so that's happening right now. And here's the statistic. 86% of people say they make their purchasing decision based on the recommendation of a friend. You guys are nodding because you're like, that feels about right. Which means those customers that you guys all thought of 5 minutes ago are talking to friends and family who are right now thinking about purchasing Herbalife. Question is it going to be from you? Are you getting introduced to those people? Now, if you're not in regular contact with your customers, they're not going to introduce you to them. They're not going, maybe I should introduce them to these people. They have to be, that thought you have to put in their head. Does that make sense? And you just need to be in regular contact so you can ask them. You can tell them, I'm so proud of you. You've done so amazing. You've lost all this weight. You look incredible. I'm sure you're telling people, I'm sure you've talked to friends and family about Herbalife. So before I get too busy this month, is there anybody you care about that I need to get more information to? I want to make sure I take care of your people first because I love you so much. Does this make sense? What? Do other trainers not talk to you this way about your customers, you guys? You're looking at me like, wow, what is this stuff coming out of his mouth? To me, this is the most basic stuff. You need to be in touch with your customers so that you can serve them, so they'll order more and they'll retain longer. And it's just an easy opportunity to ask them to introduce you to the people they're talking to. Just ask them, who have you been talking to about Herbalife? Could you introduce them to me so I can get them some more information? Okay? Don't ever ask people for referrals. Don't ask them to tell their friends about you. You're better off driving down the highway at top speed, throwing your business cards out the window and praying that they land in the right person's hands. Okay? Have them think of a specific person and then ask them to introduce you. And they don't have to introduce you at church. They just need to send a group text and say, this is my friend. This is my friend, Julie, the person I was telling you about. Just wanted to introduce you to. Take it away, Julie. That's all they have to do. Does it make sense? All right. Where did I go? So my power hour, I'm going to connect with my prospects. Then I'm going to connect with my customers. Don't overthink it. Just use my scripts to get started. After a few months of using Teamzy, you won't need my scripts anymore. It'll just be so second nature. You'll rock this on your own. But in the beginning, don't overthink it. Just get in the rhythm. The next list are my coaches. I'm going to connect with them to make their day the same way. Okay? And as your team grows, and I have a lot of friends with huge teams. As the team grows, we rely on having a Facebook group, or we rely on doing live Zoom calls for our team. But what gets lost is that personal one-on-one connection, which is so important. So now that you have Teamzy, you have a way to do it. You're just going to send them a quick message every few months. Just thinking about you. How are you doing? I'm proud of you. Great job getting a new customer. Hey, I saw that you ranked up. Congratulations. Is there anything I can do to make your day as your leader today? You could even start after you get everybody using Teamzy. It could just be, hey, you're up on my Teamzy today. I hope you're having a great day. People will love it. I get 10 of those a day. I absolutely love getting those. I'm like, wow, you put me in your Teamzy account? I'm so honored. Okay, so Prospects, customers, coaches, that's the first half of your power hour. In my example, it was 19 people. Let's say that takes you 30 minutes. You get those messages out. Okay. Now, some people will start responding right away. I don't want you to run off and have the conversation yet because you'll get sidetracked. Just right now, get focused on getting all the outgoing messages done. The second half of your power hour will be following up with people. Whoever's due on your follow-ups list, you'll send them a follow-up message. Now, you'll notice there's no follow-up scheduled on my list. That's because unlike the prospect, customer, and coaches lists, which are automatically cycling every month, every day really, the follow-ups is where I have to place people manually after I have shared the business or shared products with them. Does this make sense? So I'm going to start conversations and have all these great conversations. When I uncover some interest, I'm going to share with people, hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. Those are the people I'm going to put on my follow-ups list. So the follow-ups list will be the people who are really interested in Herbalife. And now I get to show them what a professional I am by following up like a pro. Does this make sense? So let me just show you. For example, I messaged Julie, said, hey, how are you? She says, great to hear from you, Eric. We're doing great. And so now my goal is to now that I've started the conversation, my goal is to try to engage her in conversation. So I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to try to get an update from her on what's going on in her life. And then I'm going to share an update on what's going on in my life. Pretty basic, right? Just as if we ran into each other in the grocery store. What have you been up to? Tell me what's going on. Do you guys have big plans for the holiday? Okay, great. How are your kids? So I'm just going to ask questions, right? And she's going to tell me. And then I'm going to tell her what I'm up to. Okay. And this is where everybody gets all stressed out. Oh my gosh, how am I going to talk about the business? I feel so cheesy. How do I do it? You guys, does anyone relate to this? Yeah. So here's what I want you to do. It's just totally normal. When you're updating them about your life, you update them about your business too. That's it. Okay. And I don't want you to think of your business as, oh my gosh, I sell Herbalife. Your business is what you do and why you're passionate about it. Here's what I do and why I'm passionate about it. Okay. You know, Diana, I know it's been a long time since you and I talked, but I don't know if I ever told you that recently I lost 60 pounds. You're going to go, really? You lost 60 pounds? I know. I think in pounds. Sorry. We're the last country in the world that still uses the old English system. Just go with us. Okay. We're stubborn people in this country. I lost 60 pounds. Wow. You lost 60 pounds? Yeah. And you know what? It really changed my life. As you can imagine, changed my life losing all that weight. And I have found an incredible passion for helping other people do the same. In fact, so much so I quit my corporate job and now full time, I'm a health coach that helps other people lose weight and get healthy. Wow. That's so cool. Good for you. Do you see like the different response than the way we typically share our business? When you share what you do and why you're passionate about it, and that might actually be some of the way you would actually word it. That's the way I worded. That was my experience, right? It's going to be different for each of you. There might be a different reason. I have a good friend of mine who was diagnosed stage 4 cancer. They put him on palliative care. They told him basically, we're just going to make you comfortable until you die. He changed his lifestyle and he put it in remission. I mean, he's excited to help other people do the same. That's his passion. It's a different story than mine, but we're doing the same job. Does this make sense? What are you doing? Why you're passionate about it? Don't be afraid to share that. If you were out trying to save the animals from the wildfires, would you tell people that's your mission and your passion? So why are you afraid to tell them what you're doing? Tell people what you do and why you're passionate about it. It's just a normal part of the conversation. Okay. So the first piece is you just want to share that. This is what I do, why I'm passionate about it. Everybody you talk to should know what you do and what problem you solve. And that's important because we're going to turn them into advocates. Now there's going to be people that go, I don't have that problem. I don't need that solution. Okay. And you're just going to ask them, well, absolutely. Oh, no, I understand, but I'm sure you know people that need this help. So if you come across anybody who needs help in this area, could you please introduce them to me? I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can. See, when you approach people from a relationship standpoint, you're going to get them to introduce people to you, even if they're not interested at all in what you're doing, because they believe and trust in you and they want their friends and family to get helped. Does it make sense? This is why this is so fun. It's so fun this way. Okay. So I'm talking to, in my example, I'm talking to Julie. She's like, wow, good for you, Eric. That's so great. I'm so proud of you to do that. And so now that she's kind of enthusiastic towards what I'm doing, I'm going to just ask her, would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? Are you interested in learning more about it? This is where you guys are going to be like, just do it. Just ask. Would you like more information? If she says no, you do what I just said. You plant the seed. Hey, well, can you do me a favor? If you come across people that need this, could you connect us so I can help them? Okay. And you've planted the seed. They come back on Teamzy in 3 months. You have another conversation. Each time they move along the trust meter with you. If she says, yeah, I'd like some more information, of course, I'm going to tailor that question to what I've heard. If she tells me she wishes she could be home with her kids like I am, I'm going to say, would you like to learn more about this business opportunity so you can have time flexibility and be with your kids? If she says, man, I'd like to lose 6 kilos for this upcoming event, I would say, would you like to learn about the next group that I'm doing, or, the challenge that I'm doing this month? So just make it more specific based on what you hear. Does this make sense? But ask them if they're interested. And then when she says yes, now what we're going to do is we're going to bring her to the next level and log it in Teamzy. So for example, she's not here anymore. So I'm going to look her up on my lookup bar to log this conversation. The lookup bar brings up whoever I need, and it takes me to their full contact record, right? And this is where I have all their contact info and notes and a record of all of our conversations. Okay. So let's say I'm now getting her on, let's say, a 3-way call with an upline. We're going to talk about the business opportunity just for an example. So I got her on a 3-way call, and so now I'm logging that 3-way call in Teamzy. Okay. And on the 3-way call, of course, we shared the whole business opportunity with her. She was excited about it. So here's how I would log this. See where it says share on the bottom left? I'm going to actually click this, take it off Connect, and put it on a business opportunity share. Okay. Which turned on my follow-up calendar right here. So now I'm going to put a follow-up on a record. I'll follow up tomorrow, let's say, and I'll put my notes from the call, she loves. You get the idea. Any notes from our call. So now I'm logging this as a share, and I'm setting a follow-up for tomorrow. So when I log this, let me just show you what happens. See, the follow-up is set. I'm going to go to the dashboard, show you what happened. So you can see now the share has been logged. So I got one of my 3 shares done, and she's on my follow-ups list for tomorrow. Okay? Pretty simple. So when you uncover people that are interested, you get them going and you put them on your follow-ups list. So we're on this 3-way call where she's excited, and I'm telling her, she says, well, I need to talk to my husband, and no problem. Great. I'll follow up with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. You guys do that, talk it over, think it over. We'll connect tomorrow. And is that cool? She says, that's perfect. Okay, great. So now she's on my follow-ups list. So here's how this works tomorrow. I come do my power hour. I connect with my prospects, my customers, my coaches, whoever's up next. I go to my follow-ups list for the second half of my power hour, and any follow-ups that are due today, I send them a message to. Is it really that easy, Eric? Yes, it's really this easy, you guys. So what the heck do I send for a follow-up message? Well, if you haven't already looked in here, I put 10 follow-up scripts in Teamzy for you in order numbered. You really can't mess this up. So look, follow-up number 1 we're going to use because it's the first one. Here's how it reads. It says, hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Okay. And every one of these scripts, by the way, is just refined. It uses all the little psychological and relational cues that we want to communicate our heart to people and stay on top of it. So look, change the name. Add your emoticon or emoticons, depending on how crazy you are about emoticons. Wait, that one didn't come through. Let's see. Here we go. Great. Go send her the message. Oh, look, I still have her up. How easy. We're actually sending her this message, which is good. So there it is. I've sent her the follow-up message. Okay, and I'm going to log it in Teamzy. Now, pay attention. This is an important detail. Before I hit log connect, set a new follow-up. Okay, set a new follow-up. So I'm going to follow up now 2 days from now. And you can leave yourself a note. I'm going to say that that's follow-up number 2 is going to be the next one I send her. That way, when you have 50 follow-ups, you don't have to really read the whole conversation. You just send the next one, right? Okay, so now new follow-up is set for Thursday. So on Thursday, I'll send her the next follow-up. So just real quick, does this make sense? Super easy. That's the system. This is what a power hour looks like. Prospects, customers, coaches, follow-ups. In between, you have conversations. You find interest, you invite people deeper. Okay? I recommend that you do set aside a couple of blocks of time in your day to respond to messages, so you're not doing it all day. So let's say you do an early morning power hour where you send the messages, maybe a lunchtime and evening, you have like a 30-minute window where all you do is respond to messages so you can keep kind of control of it. Does that make sense? Now, really quick, I know we're at the end of our time. I want to talk to you real quick about following up because this is where people screw this up. Okay? Sorry, I don't want to mince my words. That's what happens. You do all this work and then you mess up the follow-up. Here's what you need to understand. 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-ups. It's not what you wanted to hear. Because very few people will follow up 10 times. They feel like after 3 or 4, they're just being annoying. How many of you guys, that's your worry? You don't want to be annoying. Okay. And if you're following up the way most people do, you are being annoying. So let me teach you how to do it without being annoying. I'm going to teach you right now. You'll never be annoying. People will love you. They will say, thank you so much for following up. But first, I need to just kind of explain something to you about following up. How many of you honestly, like you feel like this is how you're going to help change lives? You're in this business because you really want to help people. Good. That's the same people who feel like are worried about being annoying usually, which is good. Here's what I want you to understand. I'm just going to rephrase the statistic for you. 80% of the people you could be helping, you won't help unless you follow up more. Okay? Following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. This is how you actively love people. They don't know about your products. They don't have them yet. They don't know about your coaching. They haven't been coached yet. Following up is all you have to get them to the next step. Does it make sense? Following up is an act of love. I want you guys to write that down. I don't know, put it on a sticky note, the sticky notes you're not using anymore for names and phone numbers, and put it on the corner of your computer or something, or on the mirror in your bathroom where you can see it every day. Following up is an act of love. Now, let me teach you how to follow up so that you're not annoying. You can follow up 10 times. Just understand this. Most people don't answer the follow-ups, okay, for a long time. This has happened to you, right? You've had somebody who's really excited, and then you follow up and there's nothing. You follow up again and there's nothing. You follow up again, it's just crickets, nothing coming back. And after 3 tries, you start inventing stories of why they're not following up. You get on the team call with Julie and she says, well, what about that great prospect you had? And you go, well, and you feel like there must be an explanation. So you start making stuff up. I saw on Instagram that her dog is sick. Or, Jody at the grocery store told me that they're going through a divorce, or money's tight, I heard, or it's got to be the government, right? It's always the government's fault. We make up stories. Here's what's really happening. When you message people to respond, to follow up, they're busy at that moment, right? They want to respond. They're excited, but the dog's throwing up on the baby. They have to go handle it, right? The next time you message them, they're in the middle of making dinner. They don't want to wash their hands off to respond. They'll do it later. They're driving their car. This is our life, right? And so they're not responding because there's a reason. Life's just happening, and they mean to do it later. Most people will respond the first time, 6 or 7 follow-ups in, and they'll say, I'm sorry that I haven't responded, right? But that's long after most people have given up. So when you give up following up, what you're telling them is, I really didn't care about you. Sorry you didn't respond to me quick enough, so I've let you go, right? We don't want that. So let me teach you real quick how to follow up without being annoying. There's 2 principles. And then we'll do some Q&A if you guys have some questions. The 2 principles for following up without being annoying. This is really simple. The first one is this. When you're following up, never ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to do anything. They don't have to call you. They don't have to text you. They don't even need to respond at all. Don't ask them. Don't ask anything of them. Okay. The second rule for following up and not being annoying is your follow-up. They have to be able to read your follow-up at a glance. So it has to be written. Can't be a voice message. Okay. No voice messages. And it has to be short enough they can read the whole thing without opening the message. Because I'm here to tell you, they are not going to even open the message. How many of you, when you're busy, don't open the message because you don't want to look like a jerk for not responding to it? We all do that. So don't require that of them. Make it really easy on them. What's going to happen is your message will come through. They will see it on the lock screen of their phone at a glance, and they'll receive it. That's all you want. It keeps you top of mind, and it lets them know that you meant it when you said you cared and that you were here to help them. Does this make sense? And so you follow up, set another one a few days from now, you do it again. You just keep them on that list. You keep them on that follow-ups list. Some people will close in 3 days, and some people will take a year. You just keep them on that follow-ups list. You keep loving them through the process. And here's how building your business looks. For an hour a day, you go into Teamzy. It'll give you a list of people. Go make their day. Then you go to your follow-ups list and you follow up and put people back on, send them a follow-up message and put them back on the follow-ups list. You just keep doing this 5 days a week. Not only will you hit your goals, but every single month you will have new customers, new team members joining the team. And it's so much fun too, because some of you guys who are using Teams have already experienced the amazing conversations that you have just by doing this. Isn't it crazy? Okay, that's the system. Don't overthink it. It works. 21 new customers, 9 recruits in 90 days. That's the average result. So let's get you guys going with that too. Okay, and let me give you a couple action steps on this, and then if you have some questions, I'll take them. A couple action steps. We already saw this slide. Here we go, action steps. First one I want you to do is go to teamzy.com and get your 30-day free trial started if you haven't already done that. That's a no-brainer. It's free for 30 days. I don't care if this is your first day in the business or if you've got 60,000 people on your team. You just go do it. Get your 30-day free trial and get started, okay? If you're already in the free trial and you're liking it, you should set up your subscription so that you can keep going past your 30 days, okay? So you can do that anytime. You can do it anytime in your free trial. They won't bill you till after the free time is up. Okay. Oh, what happened? It crashed. Crashed on me. That's so annoying. Okay, is it still there? Oh, it didn't crash. I just lost it. You guys still see it, right? Okay, next action step. Get a 30-day success partner to do your free trial with you. Maybe 2 success partners. Just look around and say, hey, do you want to do this with me? Let's do it. Here's my goals. What are your goals? Share your goals with each other. And then what I recommend you do is each day after you've completed your power hour and you get that little message from Teamzy that says, you crushed it. How many of you guys have ever gotten the you crushed it message? You can screenshot that and send it over to your team member or members and say, I'm done with mine. And they're going to say, oh, dang it. Now I have to go do mine. But here's what I want you guys to know. That accountability will help you get the most out of that free trial. This could be the best month of your business. Now, without the accountability, you're going to go in there and go, oh, I'm going to check it out. And you're going to get busy and walk away from it, right? I want you to crush it this month. So get a success partner or 2 and do this and really do this for 30 days. Okay. The third action step, I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge. This is for those of you guys who really want to experience what momentum in the business feels like. I'm going to challenge you to connect with 100 people in 5 days. Okay. I'm going to challenge you to connect with 100 people in 5 days. That's 20 a day. But you need to work 5 days in a row. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to absolutely blow your mind. Let's say you start on a Monday and you finish on a Friday. By over that weekend, you're going to have 50 people you're talking to. You're going to be like, this guy, Eric Johnson, is nuts. I can't believe he did this to me. Here's the thing, though. Yes, it'll feel like your hair's on fire. That is so much better than just being consumed with worry. Successful people are overwhelmed with opportunity. Unsuccessful people are overwhelmed with worry. I want you guys to be busy. It's okay. If you get too busy, message me. I'll give you some time management tips. It's all good. But if you do that 5-day challenge, you will never believe yourself when you say, things are slow. My warm market's tapped. It's the industry's on a lull. You just won't believe those stories anymore because you have experienced what 5 days of energy can do. And you won't believe it when your team members get on the team call and say, times are slow. You're going to be like, no way, dude. Teamzy 5-day challenge. Let's go. It's going to rock your world. Are you guys with me? Who's up for that? Hold each other accountable to it. Okay? Okay. Sorry. I unloaded both barrels on you guys tonight. Do you guys have questions that came up. And if you do, just unmute and ask away. I'm happy to answer them. And then I'll send you guys on your way.
Hey, Eric, Julie here. I do have questions. So I'm trying to be consistent with Teamzy. I don't manage to log in and do my power hour every day, and I'm a little bit erratic, so I'm working on consistency. But I end up with so many people in my follow-up list. Like, I think at the moment I'm running at about 54, because I have people that I've sent messages to, and I think, oh, I'll follow that person up in 3 days or in 1 week or whatever. And then my follow-up list just gets blown out in a huge way. So I'm obviously setting something wrong or doing something, or is that what's meant to happen, or how can I manage that better?
Okay, so here's my advice to you, Julie. Don't set a follow-up with people unless you're sharing the business or products with them. If you're just reaching out and connecting with them, you don't need to set a follow-up because they'll automatically come back in Teamzy based on their star rating. So they'll come back in 30, 60, 90 days. So if you're just saying hello and they don't respond, don't worry about it, because you're going to be so busy talking to the ones who do that they'll come back. They're just going to cycle back. So
So I'm not. It's not the just normal follow up, like like the loving on people. I'm doing that, and I'm letting Teamzy remind me as per their star rating. That's good. But say if I've just got a new customer started, and I need to, our follow up is like day 1, day 3, day 7, day 14. So I'm reminding myself through Teamzy, or I've got a customer who, that they have problems ordering, so I just flick them a little message, and then I think, oh, I'll follow back round with them in a week just to see if they managed it, or whatever. So I'm not kind of just putting your average person in. I'm putting in people that actually do need follow up. So maybe I just have like heaps of people to follow up.
Yeah, it sounds like those are people you should be following up with, and so there's nothing you can do except work your way through that list.
Okay, cool.
Right. So you just need to chunk your way through the list. If you've got 54 people on the follow-ups, are they all due in the same day? Or no,
that's just the number it gives it at the top, and then I'm just trying to like work my way around them.
So just look at it this way: 30 minutes of your power hour every day is your follow-ups list. How many messages can you send in 30 minutes? And so if you look at it that way, and let's say you got in there even 3 days a week, you could probably make a big dent in that follow-ups list.
Yeah, true. I think that's what I need to do. And also on my prospects list, there's people, and then there's like a little skip for 1 week.
Yeah.
Next to it, and they're people who I just know. I've downgraded them to maybe like 1 star because I just know that then I don't want to follow them up, and they're not, whatever, for whatever reason. And I click, but it only gives me skip for 1 week, and even if I put them down to like a 1, it still says skip for 1 week. And I want to get rid of them entirely off my list.
Yeah.
Maybe I just delete them.
If you change their star rating to 1, they'll disappear off your list. But just make sure it's highlighted first. Like click on their name so that that's the name highlighted.
Maybe that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
so you do it and you're like, wait, it didn't take. That's just because it wasn't highlighted first. So let me just give you guys an example of what she's talking about. I'll show you real quick on Teamzy. So when your list comes up, let's say Amelia comes up, right? And she's a 3-star, and I'm like, I shouldn't have. It's too soon. She needs to be less than that. So first, I'm gonna just kind of click on her, make sure she's highlighted, and then I'll change her to 2. And then what happens is she just disappears. So now she's not going to come back for another 30 days because it reset her time. Instead of 60, it set her to 90 days. Does that make sense? So now if I just talk to this person and I just want to skip a week, I can click skip a week and they just come back in a week. So that's the difference. Ranking them down changes them. Now, if I put them in a 1, if I put them on a 1-star, they actually never come back on the prospects list. They stay in Teamzy, but I have to look them up if I want to connect with them. So 1 star is what you give people who, you're just like, I'm not really going to pursue building a relationship with this person, but if I need to contact them, I want to keep their contact info. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Hopefully that answered that question. Did you have any more, Julie, that you'd been thinking of?
No, I think I'm really slack at the shares. Like I'll share business or product info with someone, but I won't log it as a share. It'll just be a normal connect. So I just think I need to need to refine that.
Yeah. So if you start getting annoyed that you're not getting 100% on the Teamzy dashboard, that you'll have to log those to get to your 100%. So that's why we have all those shiny dials and stuff. It's to get under your skin and make you really want to win that, right? So that's why we want to make sure that people are doing their shares, and they can't get to 100% if they aren't, because it's nice to connect with 50 people a day and make their day, but that doesn't actually build our business. We have to actually share the business to get to that next level, right? So, and honestly, we can't share our mission of helping people unless we share the business. So, the other thing that I would say is, well, I don't have a lot. I've already given you guys probably way more training than I should have in one night, but, we used to have a lot of, with the shares, I do this thing every quarter called Teamzy Bootcamp, where we spend 3 months doing deep training with people who want to learn more about relationship marketing, and how to use the system. But one of the things that I think is a kind of a major mistake that most people make is when someone says, yeah, I'd like more information, they just fire off like a video or a link from corporate. And the challenge with that is you don't know what their problem is yet. Right? And so you need to spend, when someone says, yeah, I'd like some more information, what I recommend that people do is say, awesome, let's jump on a quick call or FaceTime so I can talk. So I want to hear your goals and see if it's something I can help you with, because we need to find out what they need. Do they need to lose weight? Why do they need to lose weight? Do they need to lose weight because they want to get into a wedding dress, or do they need to lose weight because they were just diagnosed with diabetes? Like what is going on in their life and what are their goals, so that you can specifically tailor the solution to them. Based on what you're telling me, Julie, I really think I can help you, and this is what I recommend. But when all we do is go, yeah, here's more information, it's kind of like, imagine if you called the doctor and said you weren't feeling well, and they said, here's a link with all the pharmaceuticals we sell. Tell me what you'd be interested in learning more about, and I'll have the nurse give you a call back. You'd be like, what are you talking about? They ask questions and find out the problem, and then they offer a specific solution. By the way, they're really good at sales. Almost no customers say no to the product they're proposing, do they?
Yeah. And that's actually what we teach is we teach our coaches to do like a little wellness profile and start with, well, what is your goal? And
perfect.
That kind of thing.
So that's where so that wellness profile conversation is where the share happens, right? So we invite them to that, and then great. Well, based on what you're saying, here's what I recommend we do. And then that's where you log that share in Teamzy, and you put them on that follow-ups list until they purchase that program. Okay. So it'll be great. Cool. Any other questions?
What other questions? Yeah. Have you guys got any questions?
I've got one. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. So when you upload your contacts, and they come from various sources, maybe from your mobile phone, we have another website, HB24 Pro, and they all come in. It doesn't seem to register on Teamzy where they've come from. So when you go to do a contact, even though they may not be someone you're really familiar with, you have to backtrack and find out, oh, were they on Facebook Messenger? Were they on, how am I going to message them?
Great question.
Yeah, so I've actually gone in and I've had to put like Facebook. So that way I know, great, I just jump straight into Facebook, find them on Messenger. Is there another way?
Yeah, so you've been adding tags. You can actually add a tag to the entire import. So yeah, so what you can do is when you import the list, it'll give you an option to add a tag. You can tag, these are my Facebook friends. So if you've already imported your lists, what you can do, Jody, is you can import them a second time. And this time, because Teamzy won't add new contacts the second time, but it will add the tags. So you can import them a second time and add the tag. This is my Facebook list, and that tag will appear on everybody on that list in Teamzy.
Okay. Yeah, I think I sent my lists to you because I had some trouble importing. So I should have them still somewhere, so I should be able to upload them again.
Yeah, and if not, we can help you again. So let me just show you guys. I'm showing my screen. So for example, on Atlanta here, if I go to details, I'll see all of the tags. So let's say she had a tag that said Facebook. So that tag would be there. So when I was going to talk to her, I could go, yep, so right before I connect, I can just look at my tags, my details, and see where she's from. Just a quick toggle.
And can you just show me, where does that tag appear again?
Under details. So see right here where it says details?
Details. Okay.
There it
Yep.
is.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
Thank you. That's my question.
That's a good one. Any others?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Oh,
Hi, Eric.
Hi.
Who are we talking to? Thanks, Diane. Yes, I've got some really old contacts in my phone, and then I've been not even focusing on the fact they're old. In fact, I don't even remember these people, but I'm putting out the messages anyhow. And sometimes I'm getting a few messages back like, who are you? What do you want? And some will actually call me.
Yeah.
And I've been getting around it by just saying, I have no idea where I've met you, but obviously I thought you were important and that's why your number was in my phone. But I'm just finding that to move on from that, to build a relationship, I'm a little stuck.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great question. So again, the most important thing is to start first with your warmest relationships. Right. So those people that you're talking about, you're going to get the least amount of response from. So they're going to be your lowest priority people. So make sure first you're connecting to the people who know you and trust you the most first. And then when you cycle through to those people, fine, you spend 2 seconds with them. Some of them are going to go somewhere. Some of them won't. If they respond very negatively, then just take them out of Teamzy, just delete them, right? Move on type thing. But again, if you don't know who they are, you have the lowest amount of trust. Now, if they're like, let's say they're Facebook friends or something like that, then a lot of times they may have been watching or following you. So they have some familiarity with you, right? If you've been friends, they may have seen you in their feed type thing. And I have had people that I didn't remember meeting. One person in particular said, who are you and how do we know each other? I said, I don't know, but we're Facebook friends. She says, yeah, I saw that. How did we become friends? I said, I don't know. So I started asking her questions. Well, are you in real estate? Because that's my industry that I come from is real estate. Are you in real estate? She says, yeah, I'm a real estate agent. I said, oh, perfect. That must be how we know each other. So then we still couldn't figure out how we knew each other. And at the end of this conversation back and forth, which was kind of laughable, really, she says, so what's this health and fitness thing that you do? And so I told her. She ended up becoming a customer. Now, look, that's a rare occasion, right? But, it doesn't hurt to send the message and see what happens. I just wouldn't spend a lot of time on those people. Does that make sense? So do your best like you're doing. Try to warm it up. If it's not going to warm up, either keep them on your list every 3 months or 4 months or take them off your list.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Sure. And I know Diana had one too.
yes, thank you. I found what was difficult for me, it was to end up to a share, either for the product or the business. So I can do all the messages, and sometimes it gets very busy when you get all these responses.
Yeah.
And I found that the conversation wouldn't lead to an opportunity to share. And I don't know if you've got some tips for that.
Yeah, that's the question everybody asks me. So let me ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
Because I love it. I'm passionate about helping people with their health, reaching their health goals, and also create more freedom in their life with finances.
Okay, so what's your story? How did it help you?
It helped me to lose 8 kilos, and I used to be very fat and fit, and now I can run marathons. It's amazing how it has changed my life. So that's why I'm passionate to share this with as many people as possible.
So that's the story that's just the conversation you need to be working into those conversations. I used to be sluggish and overweight and no energy. And now I run marathons. I mean, this has changed my life. That's just normal conversation. Okay. So you need to share that part of the story in the conversation when you catch them up on what you're doing. How about you? What are you up to? Tell them.
Okay. So because often people they ask, what have you been up to? And in my head, it's weird to share, I've lost 8 kilos and I feel great. If I found it was a bit weird to bring that up, but maybe it's not.
It's not weird. I mean, if you say it just like that, that might feel weird. But, you can just say, I don't know if I told you recently, but I found, I lost 8 kilos. It's kind of hard to describe how great I felt, but it inspired me to start my own business, helping other people do the same thing. So that kind of thing. Or, you know, I don't know if I told you I started my own business. Yeah, it all started because I personally lost some weight and I felt great. And then I realized what a great business opportunity. I started sharing it with people. So you just that's just got to be part of your story. You just have to get comfortable just sharing that story with people. And it's just you're having a conversation. It's not like you said, you know, hey girl, would you like to take a look at this great business opportunity as your opening comment, which people do, right? And it's like, so you're having a conversation. They're asking, well, what have you been up to? You need to tell them about your business. That's the whole reason you started the conversation. And the reason why, let me just throw this out here to change your thinking on this. The reason why you have to tell them about your business isn't because you want to sell them something. It's because you want to help people. Right?
Yeah, true.
I mean, look, the good book says you put your light on a table, not under a basket. Right? You put your light high on a table so that it lights the whole room, so that you can see it from a distance, you don't hide it under a basket. And this is your business. You need to put it out there so that people can see it. That's how you're going to help people.
Okay.
And so part of this is just getting, you know, like, fear of rejection is like the major thing that holds us all back. And I have it so bad. I hate the thought of getting rejected. Why do you think I'm the pioneer of the relationship building version of our business, right? Because I don't like the go for no stuff. I can't do it. I'll hide from it. But at the same time, you have to be fearless about your heart to serve others and to help other people. And that's what you want to pour out. And people will get it. They'll be like, wow, what an inspirational person you are. Okay, so don't worry about it. You need to tell people what you're doing, why you're doing it, why you're so passionate about it, and that this is your business now, and just let them know. Like if you got a new job, you would tell people about it. Right? But the new job wouldn't help them, but this can. Does that help?
Thank you. Yeah. Well,
so I didn't really give her any tips. I just told her to go do it. It's all good.
That was great.
This approach makes it easier. This approach makes it a lot easier, but you still have to do it. Okay, I know we've been taking up your mornings. Jody's trying to pretend like she's working so she doesn't get in trouble at work, and I'm gonna go tuck my kids into bed. But thank you guys for the opportunity to share with your team. I hope a lot of people will get this via video and via the replay, and it will impact them. But as always, I am incredibly honored and humbled that you would have me to talk to your team. And I'm glad to see all of you as part of our Teamzy family too. So thank you, Julie, for inviting me. God bless you guys. Have a great night.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate the time and care that you've taken with our team tonight. And thank you so much for creating Teamzy and helping us connect with more people and become successful in our business. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great night, all.